Greetings and welcome to episode 21 of Touchdown Online. Felix and Sam to take you through your sports, and don't forget to find us on social media, Touchdown Online, that's Twitter, Touchdown Online, Facebook, where you can get links to our YouTube channel. And talking Spanish Premier Liga, Sam, Barcelona and Real Madrid, of course, have started off very well. Madrid only leading on goal difference. And 4-1 over Girona. Last season, a place where they lost 1-0. And this time showing that maybe again, the goals can come from all over. Because the worry was that Ronaldo gone, where did the goals come from?
Yeah, but see, when the game began, you almost felt that the script was going to be rewritten, like it was last season. Real Madrid looked a bit off. But they got a lucky break with a penalty. Lucky not that it wasn't a penalty, but lucky because I didn't think they were going to find the back of the net. And then Sergio Ramos, who seems to be scoring more goals than most strikers at Arsenal, putting the ball in the back of the net. And thereafter, they kind of just controlled the game and got an easy victory at the end. But Girona did put up a very good fight. The scoreline is very misleading. But that's the thing about Real Madrid. The minute they see some space or a gap, then you won't get back to them. So yeah, it ended up being another professional performance from them, like they did last weekend.
Is Gareth Bale being the man they expect to see? Because this is 6 consecutive games scoring for Madrid now.
Yes, but I don't think he's a goal scorer, and that's what I keep insisting. He's not a Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a threat because he can create, and you always put defenses on tenterhooks. But in regard to be a consistent source of goals, I think he doesn't have that particular skill set to him, where he has an eye for goal with that comes so easy to him. I don't think he's that kind of player, and I do not expect Real Madrid to think that he's going to be that kind of player.
And Barcelona beating Valladolid by 1-0.
Tough game, horrible pitch, to the extent that if you're looking for one of the worst free kicks you'll ever see, go and look for one Messi took, and naturally he looked down at the grass, and you can't blame
the grass.
He blamed the grass,
okay,
like all great players do. They never admit that they can have an off day.
They blame the grass.
They blame the grass.
Okay.
And I think he even looked at the groundsman after that.
He probably had a chat with him.
You clown.
I come back here next season.
But it was a tough game. It's one of those performances where you give Barcelona credit because it was not going to be easy. And again, for me, one of the more worrying things, Luis Suarez, he does not look like anything that Barcelona need. I think the goal was scored by Dembele, wasn't it? It was scored by Dembele off a header by someone. I think it was Sergio Roberto who headed off. And there was also some debate whether his body was over the line when he tried to head that ball back into play for Dembele. But where Suarez is faulting, Dembele is thriving. And I think we debated it in previous podcasts.
Any sane manager would know that front three should now be Malcolm, Messi, Dembele.
Yes.
Suarez should be coming.
Actually, Malcolm also came on another very good.
Because Luis Suarez doesn't have the legs for 90 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't think he even has the legs for 60 minutes.
And then, of course, Coutinho had...
there was no breakfast.
There was no breakfast. He kept losing the ball. But it was a good... And they got lucky because... they scored a goal in the last minute that was cancelled, and rightly so. I think
Vieira in La Liga.
It worked. It was such a tight call, a very, very tight call.
Okay, and then you had the Espanyol beating Valencia 2-0, and you thought the Valencia of last season, plus adding Michi Batshuayi in there, should be one of the teams contending for Champions League positions. They're already in Champions League this season.
But for me, my argument has been, I think there's nothing scary about this Valencia team. They're a good Spanish team that is
Arsenal
technical.
in Europa League, you should have faced them and see.
No, I mean, there's nothing scary about them. I mean, you fear an Atletico Madrid because they can change They can change the way they play their game. They can be bullish and doggish, and they can play the good football.
And Atletico winning 1-0 against Rayo Vallecano. That is your Spanish Primera Liga.
And speaking about that, I think talking about managers using, you remember last season, what's his name, Diego Simeone, being told that he has to be more open and play some nice football, and then they conceded. They lost how many games?
Yeah, they had a bad start.
Then they said, we tried it your way, so we're going back to the old traditional way.
Yeah.
And these first games, it has been the old traditional way.
And it's getting the points, by the way.
It's getting the points to be able to compete.
Moving on to the German Bundesliga. Now, no longer the League of the World Champions, but now the League of the former world champions. Bayern Munich, 3-1 over Hoffenheim, but the fiasco of VAR. Bayern getting a penalty that shouldn't have been. The ref doesn't consult VAR. Then when the penalty is taken, he consults VAR to see if Ian Robben was offside when he scored the goal, and the penalty has to be retaken.
Yeah.
But then again, overall, whichever Bayern deserved their win.
No, they did. They absolutely did. Because they were at home and they had the better team. I think for Bayern's point, there were the few key issues that needed to be addressed. One is the form of Jerome Boateng.
Yeah, if you saw how the goal was scored, Boateng is yesterday's news.
He only won, at the end of the game, he won 35% of his duels. And that is worrying for a guy. Because his form from the World Cup has continued.
No, actually, since Euro 2016.
Yeah,
because one, he has had fitness issues. Since Euro 2016, he has only played half of the games Bayern have played in that entire period. So you have all that, and then now the rumor of Pavard as well coming in, and it looks like he could go and Pavard comes in.
It's possible
because Hassan Salihamidzic was having a meeting with the PSG sporting director. You just never know.
And then Martinez also looking very slow down the middle until this boy got from Schalke. Goretzka came on. Kind of tidied up.
I think Martinez, the body is the tired way of the injuries of the last 4 years, basically.
But I honestly believe that for Bayern, they need to get over the duo of Ribéry and Robben.
Yeah, but you
who were excellent.
But you see, the most disturbing bit is the players supposed to replace them also injury prone. That's Kingsley Coman and Serge Gnabry.
But you see, Shaqiri should have had more starting time, but you can't bench a Robben that is
No, the Robben at that time they were fit, yes.
I see, that's the problem. You can never, I think something needs to be done. But
I think they need to go for a Julian Brown.
And whenever the Ribéry and Robben are turning while dribbling, you're like, this man is going to get a stomach injury. Ribéry got a buttocks one.
Yeah, that was in 2016.
I don't even know. Up to now, that's what I don't know how it comes from. But yeah.
No, but I think Bayern, when you look at their squad, however much on paper it looks good, the fitness issues in that team, they should be in the transfer window.
They should be.
Because Jerome Boateng and Matt Hummels are also injury prone.
Yeah.
That means you have Zula as the only fit defender, because Martinez as well comes in, but he also has injury issues.
Yeah.
Those are now looks like Juan Bernat could be on his way, and they are thinking Rafinha is going to be able backup for Joshua Kimmich and David Alaba, which is also a big mistake. And me, I still insist Robert Lewandowski should be out of that.
Yeah.
Not for injury issues, not for what, but temperament. That is not Bayern quality, that is Arsenal quality. Where you have your days of missing and people are okay with it. But
you tweet that you score.
You'll score in the next game. And then Borussia Dortmund, impressive, dismantling Leipzig, despite Leipzig scoring after 2 minutes. And you thought that, well, is this the Dortmund of old?
They're playing with freedom. You can't. They have no problems. I don't know. I mean, we all know the ability of the what's his name, Götze.
Mario Götze
looks rejuvenated.
Marco Reus was good up front.
Was he as well?
Aksovic was also good.
I mean that you need to see if they can be consistent throughout the season.
Could it be the manager, Lucien Favre?
Of course, it has to be. There's no other, because it's the same personnel. I don't think there's been a significant change to the personnel to think that it's the reason. I think it's sometimes the motivation, the different approach by a manager to the players. That's why they're in that space right now.
Okay, and the Italian Serie A, Juve beating Lazio by 2-0.
The biggest story, of course, Ronaldo looking off. That's what Italian papers, some English papers went as far as saying, did he make a mistake which I find absolute rubbish. But of course, when you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're going to get such headlines because he doesn't look like himself, and he shouldn't look like himself because he's just trying to understand it. And of course, because he cannot be a genius like Messi in open play, he thrives on finding the back of the net, which he's not doing currently. But at least he does not look unhappy. He is.
Keith's argument is actually the Serie move was to reduce on the workload on his body. He probably wants to Qatar 2022.
But he still needs to find the back of the net to keep that arrogant self personality on the high. But it's not going according to plan. And Lazio, well, they have their own problems.
Okay, talking Napoli and Milan. Milan didn't play the opening game against Genoa. It was postponed. This was their first game where they took a 2-0 lead until Bakayoko came on. And then everything went pear-shaped.
And he was at fault, like every other Milan player who succumbed in the for that comeback from Napoli. Game of the weekend for Italian fans. And but we also saw a glimpse of what Milan can do under Gattuso. Especially in that first half, some incredibly good football. Napoli, I think for me, beating them on experience and having a more experienced manager, and also capitalizing on mistakes, really, because those were mistakes from Milan's point of view.
Okay, Inter and Torino, 2-2 as well. Inter also throwing away 2-0 lead, but probably the thriller was in Rome, 3-3, Roma and Atalanta.
But that has always been Roma.
But overall, the way the Serie has started, we've already seen 2 big games from at the start. But then the results themselves are showing that maybe this time it might be closer. Juve still wins it, but I don't think it's good. It might be as close as it was last season. Yeah, as close as it was last season.
Juve overtook the first pole position when? Wasn't it sometime in March?
No, actually Napoli just threw it away because when they beat Juve in Turin, that Koulibaly goal, I think they went 11 on points. Then Napoli just failed to win from there. And Juve just went away with it.
Maybe it was an issue of the Italian briefcase.
Okay, that's all time we had for. But you can still find us on social media, Touchdown Online. That's Twitter and Facebook, where you get links to our YouTube channel.